It's a new week. I'm on transplant surgery nights. I'm about to go to the gym. This week is going to be a really busy week. I'm currently on transplant surgery, which means I'm seeing a lot of liver transplants, kidney transplants. I'm seeing complications related to that. I'm seeing a lot of people that need a lot of things. Anyway, I've been trying to get a workout in the afternoon after I wake up in the morning while I've been on nights. So I'm about to go get a workout right now. I start work at 8 p.m. and then I'm going to be on from 8 p.m. till 9 a.m. tomorrow. Great life. Being on nights is pretty different because you do a lot of making sure the patient stays stable overnight and then having the day team come in later to make sure that care is continued as planned. So a lot of things don't change at night. We just keep things stable and you stay up all night doing that. Seeing new consults coming into the ED, new direct admits coming from outside hospitals. So it's been a lot of learning and I think it's been a lot of fun. It's kind of rough sometimes physiologically because you're just switching your circadian rhythm. This week I'm gonna try a lot to talk about getting into medical school. This video is dedicated for my pre-meds out there. If you've seen my previous vlog, I really talked about the personal statement a lot and I think that's very important. This week I want to explore some of the things that I could have done better to get into medical school. I did get into medical school, but things I could have improved on. So lock in is gonna be a really good video. If you're just here for the vibes, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for coming back. It's gonna be a great week. That was such a good workout. Hit some biceps, triceps, got some curls in, hammer curls. It was a good, you know, upper extremity, hand, arm workout. I'm about to go to the store, pick up some food. I need to go to the meat store because this protein is not gonna get itself. And then I'm gonna get ready for work. So I just made it to the meat store. I'm about to pick up some protein. But the first thing I want to cover in this video is connections, connections, connections.
Connection.
If I were a pre-med and I was starting all over again from when I started in 2016 when I moved to the US, I would start working on connections. I worked in a hospital, I worked in home health aid, I did different jobs, but I wish I connected more with physicians and I wish I connected more with people that knew what they were doing. This is not totally my fault because like I just didn't have those connections. I wish I had them. I just didn't. But if you have the potential to navigate these spaces and meet as many people as you can while doing this, I think it's really going to change your life. Connections are something people don't talk about enough in medicine. When it's all said and done, when you cross the check marks, when you score as high on the MCAT and you score as high on step one or score as high as you want on step two or step three, ultimately it all comes down to connections, which is what you get from doing observerships if you're an IMG. It is what you get from shadowing. Connection, connection, connection. Because like ultimately it comes down to who's gonna write you a strong letter of recommendation, who's gonna go to bat for you when you're not in the room and talk about you and call for you and say, hey, this person is a great person. I think you should have this person in your medical school. This person is a great person. I think this is someone you should have in your residency program. It takes a lot of work and it's not spoken about enough. They make us spend a lot of time talking about numbers, the grades, which are very important. Don't get me wrong. This is next level thinking, right? Those numbers are very enough to get you through the door, but to confirm your stay, to confirm that you're going to be successful in the program, you need to have the connections to an extent. You need to navigate as much as possible. You need to go to as many conferences as much as possible. I did not have those connections. I did not have the financial connections or the financial means to attend a lot of conferences at the time when I moved from Nigeria to the United States in 2016. But if I could go back and somehow find the money, I would navigate or go to as many conferences as possible. I think what else I could have done is explored more scholarships that take you to conferences like AMEC, that take you to conferences, medical conferences for different medical societies. Because if you spend a lot of time navigating the scholarships and getting as much finances to go to this conference, to meet people, to send follow-up emails, to make sure they don't forget you. And if you want tricks to that, I'm going to be talking about that later in this video. You want to make sure people don't forget you. You want to make sure people remember you, and there's ways to navigate that. And I'm going to talk about that later for sure. But that's where I would start from. If I was starting again from day one, from scratch, trying to get into medical school, I would definitely do a good job at exploring connections and finding as many connections as possible because that's what's gonna get you through. Okay, so I'm about to go pick up some food right now. Guys, I've been so obsessed with this protein bar company because they make high protein, low carb um, protein cookies, and Quest is what it's called. It's really good. This one, oh my god, I've been so obsessed with this stuff because it has everything I like: 15 grams of protein, 2 net carbs, and 1 gram of sugar. It's not necessarily a low calorie food, but I tend to lean towards more low carb meals because not because I just want to be skinny and stuff, but like with my line of work it requires a lot of focus and I like to avoid insulin crashes. So I like to avoid like high carb foods during the day or while I'm at work because I want to avoid that. You know how you get tired after eating sugar or like something heavy in carbohydrates? I like to avoid that crash. So this brand has been a life changer for me and I really like it a lot. Ayo. So I'm about to go to work right now, and it's gonna be my first night back since Friday night. It's currently Monday, so I'm about to start a new week of nights. Transplant surgery nights is pretty busy. Like I said earlier, I think I mentioned that. It gets pretty busy at night because there's just a lot going on. You have a lot of really sick patients. As the transplant surgery intern, I'm the only one in the hospital overnight for the transplant surgery team. So I'm taking care of all problems that come in at night, overnight, and any new patients coming in, any consults from the ED. It's all coming to me. Then, if I decide it's something important, I need to call my attendant if they need to come from home to come take care of the situation, or if it's something I can just take care of till morning, till things settle down. It's pretty busy. Anyway, while we're on the topic of being a doctor, I wanted to go back and talk about number two, which is study techniques. If I had to go back to becoming a pre-med right now, I would spend so much time focusing on study techniques. Like as a pre-med, you think you don't have a lot of time, right? That's what it feels like. And then you do get into medical school and you realize, oh my God, I had so much time to like study and like figure things out. And then you get into residency and you're like, oh my God, I thought I had no time in medical school, but you realize like you just keep having less time as time goes by. So one of the best things you can do for yourself outside of like scoring high, you need to also be able to study efficiently, and that becomes a problem, especially as you go further in your career. I wish I spent more time optimizing for learning techniques. As someone that, you know, pretty much just, I wouldn't say fumble my way through, but as someone that had to pick up things on the way, pick up things as I went by. I didn't have the kind of support that a lot of people have to have $5,000 to pay for a tutor or things like that. I had to figure things out on the way. And that's why I talk a lot about study techniques in my videos because I want you to spend more time to focus on those study techniques. The study techniques I talk about don't have to be the ones you use. The best study technique for you is the one that works. And to do that, you need to try multiple things. The things I suggest are just a little bit out of the vast options that exist out there. If I could go back today, I would optimize my time to learn spaced repetition, how it works, how it helps you using Pomodoro techniques for studying, Cornell's study method for taking notes, how to efficiently take good notes, using memory spaces, using memory places. Those techniques really change a lot. I quickly realized that go studying for medical school, studying for the MCAT, studying for step one, step two, step three, it's all a game. And if you can learn to play this game, you get very good at it. I don't know if my video looks good right here, but I'm going to work and it's still bright outside. So it's really bright right now. But whatever, I don't care about the video. I care that I'm delivering the version of honesty that I want to tell you. Anyway, so I'm going to be working from now till 8 p.m. I'm gonna take over from whoever has been in the hospital all day. I'll work from 8 p.m. right now till 8 a.m. tomorrow. Then around 6 a.m., I'm gonna round with the team. Then the attendant is gonna come in at 8 a.m. We'll table round. I'll table round with the team, tell everybody what happened overnight for each patient, and then I get to leave the hospital around 9 a.m. So it's not too bad. It ends up being like a solid 13, 14-hour day for most days. And then in a week, I'm working anywhere from 65 to 70 something hours. Depends on how things go. Let's go with that. But depends on how things go. All right, I'll chat with you when I get to work. Or not. I don't know. Depends on what's waiting for me. So I just made it into the hospital, and this is the part of the night where I kind of disappear on you because I'm about to get signed out, which means they tell me everything that's happened all day. And then once they do that, I take over the pager and things just get busy from there. So I might not be able to chat with you. You know how it is. I don't chat much when I'm in the hospital, but we'll chat a lot and I'll tell you how the shift went once the shift is over. It's almost 8 p.m. and I'm about to get started with my shift now. So there's a few things I'm going to do right away. There's patients in the surgical ICU I need to go see right away to make sure they're stable for the night. There's a patient in the ED waiting to be seen by my team. So we'll see what goes on with that as well, if it's something I need to see tonight. Otherwise, there's a lot of tasks from the day shift that's passed on to me, and I'll have to check off on those things all night long to make sure everybody's fine. But ultimately, if I get some downtime, maybe talk to you. If not, then I'll see you in the morning, okay? If I told you what kind of night I had, you wouldn't believe me at all. The time's currently 9:10 a.m. and I'm driving out the parking lot right now. This was probably one of the most brutal night shifts I've worked as a doctor on transplant nights. I can't even begin to explain to you guys without violating HIPAA laws or just talking too much about patients that I don't want to talk about. But I feel like this was such a bad night and great learning opportunities, right? But it was mentally exhausting. I had some of the most critical patients I've ever taken care of in my whole life. Now, mind you, there's other doctors in the hospital. There's people I could call on. I could call my attendant all night. I was on the phone with my attendant for different patients all night long, at least once every hour, which is kind of insane to think about for over about a 12-hour shift. There was just different problems that I was solving overnight, and it was kind of wild. It was really wild. But I'm so exhausted, and I'm about to go home and get some sleep. And then I realized, I didn't get a chance to talk to you. Because that's just how things get. It gets really busy. And when I'm in the hospital, my focus is not social media. Like my focus is not YouTube. I really want to be transparent with you, and I really want you to know what it feels like to go through the days I go through. But it's just that's not the priority in the hospital. When I'm in the hospital, and it's just easier for me to just chat with you this way because that's the honest truth. It's just easier. So I'm about to go home, get a nice shower in, find something to eat, sleep, and we go back for more tonight. Just crazy. Just crazy. I just had a random thought on my drive because I'm stuck in traffic. And I was just thinking, as a doctor, we get used to like working crazy hours. And I'm like, I just worked in the hospital seeing all sorts of gore on a transplant surgery service. And then I'm just casually driving home in traffic while everybody else is going to work. I'm on a flipped schedule after seeing some of the wildest stuff you can think about. And I think it's really insane the kind of privilege you get to experience this. Not only is this like incredible to get to experience, but I also think it's kind of wild that we get to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the experience itself, in itself, is insane. The everyday human being driving on the road, going to work, then at 9 a.m. is not thinking about the stuff I thought about all night long. And I think that is really insane to think about. So if you're a pre-medical student and this is how, after working a 14-hour shift and you feel this way, then that's how you know this is for you. A lot of people do not feel this way. And I don't feel this way every day. A lot of times I'm exhausted and I just don't want to chat with anybody. But just driving home and just trying to be more intentional and thinking about my time and how I get to do the things I'm doing now. Am I great at them yet? No, that's why I'm in training. That's why we're all training. But the opportunity we get and the chance to do what we do is kind of insane to think about. And I'm really grateful. I have a lot of gratitude to just have the opportunity to do what I do. And I'm so excited for you. I really am. If you choose to stay the course and continue to follow my journey and stay the course and see how we go together as a community, because I'm looking forward to it. Actually, right now, just let me know in the comment section, what is the craziest thing about being a surgeon from your perspective? Like, what do you think is insane about being a surgeon? Just say it right now. If you made it this far in this video, just drop a comment right now. What do you think is so crazy about being a surgeon or being a surgeon in training? What are your thoughts on the life of surgery residents and surgeons generally? What's up, guys? I didn't get a chance to talk to you all day. I'm now heading to work. It's past 7 p.m. and just ignore the car. It's tripping. I am very exhausted. And mind you, it's just Tuesday. I just had a really long shift. I think I told you this morning when I was heading back home from work. It was a really brutal shift and I had to take care of a lot of sick patients, and it just running from one room to another, something critical for one patient, from one room to another, being the only resident in the hospital for your team overnight, calling attendants. It was really busy, and just being that busy alone as takes like a mental toll, and it's a little bit exhausted. I'm now about to head to work real quick, and to start off my day, I'm getting some iced coffee because it's finally getting warm in Chicago. My goodness, the winter was really bad. It was really bad, but I'm glad that stuff is over and we can just get some iced coffee.
Will you be using the WhatsApp pay?
No, thank you. Hi, I would like a large iced coffee, please. No cream, just Splendor. Thank you.
Which one model, Diamond?
I'm sorry, what?
Which one model?
It's a Ford Fusion.
Yeah, Ford Fusion Hybrid.
This is 2016.
Which year?
2016.
2016?
16, yeah.
16.
Yeah.
I have my 13.
Oh, you have the same model?
Yeah.
It's a really good car. It
Nice.
really lasts long.
Yeah, easy.
Alright, thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, too.
Anyway, where was I? So, just going back into talking to you about things I would have done different if I was applying to medical school now. I think one of the things we do to ourselves as people that maybe don't come from the majority population or don't come from the majority socioeconomic status or majority gender or majority gender identity is we kind of limit ourselves into boxes. We think, I cannot go to this place just because this, that, and that. And that happened to me as well. As someone who has my own history, I'm coming from a different country, I have a different accent, I didn't grow up in the United States with all those other kids that are applying to medical school. I didn't think I was going to be good enough for a lot of programs. Don't get me wrong, I can be a very confident person, and I was just being rational in my mind at the time, thinking, well, this program over here does this, and this program over here has an average MCAT score of blah, 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 which a lot of those things are true. Objectively, there's a lot of programs that take certain med students from different programs. But overall, I think do not limit yourself. You have to be a little bit realistic with yourself and don't go wasting money and wasting your time. But you also need to identify your strengths, because a lot of things that we spend time thinking about are weaknesses. So I want you to grab a pen and paper, think about what makes you stronger than other applicants. And you can do the same thing if you're applying to residency, you can do the same thing if you're applying to fellowship. It doesn't really matter. There's things you're stronger at than other people, and that is what you want to project. That is what you want people to see. It's really hard to come to this conclusion because it feels a little bit narcissistic sometimes. It feels a little bit hyping yourself up. But who else is going to do it for you? Nobody else. It's just you. So ultimately, I think you need to not gaslight yourself into thinking you're not good enough for certain programs, because in the words of Barack, in the words of Obama, he says, we think these people sitting at these big tables are so good and they deserve to be there until you sit with them and break bread with them and you talk to them and you're like, oh, you're just folk like me. You're just regular folk like me. And wow, my pitch is shifting. You guys can tell how tired I am. I think just knowing that, or telling yourself that, and making sure you know that no one's better than you. They just have a different competitive advantage than you do. That's thinking about business, right? Like every business has some competitive advantage. A small mom pop shop has a competitive advantage of knowing their audience, knowing their clients, knowing how to get their clients in, compared to like a huge Starbucks who has all the resources and all the connections. Yes, that's their competitive advantage, but also they don't have the competitive advantage of a mom pop shop in building connection, in building loyalty. And it's the same thing right now. We have a relationship over this video, and that's a competitive advantage for you and for me as well over time. So I think just don't limit yourself and present yourself as good as you can. This was a whole rant, and I feel like I'm just yapping to my cousin or something, which is fine, whatever. You love the yap, but you get the point. You get what I'm trying to say here. Don't limit yourself. You're just as good as all those other people applying, and you just need to get strategic and competitive. All right, I'm about to head to work. I'm so tired, man. I'm gonna chug this caffeine. It's gonna be a great shift. Guys, I'm on transplant surgery. Like, this is brutal. I'm seeing patients with like decompensated cirrhosis, like people that have liver problems that are really bad, or people that have kidney problems that are really bad that require transplant, or patients that are on the transplant list that are trying to get a liver or kidney transplant. So it's a really, really busy service with really sick patients. And it kind of reminds me to take care of my health a lot more. I don't drink, but I mean, makes me not want to drink alcohol, period, ever again. A lot of kidney problems as well. Makes you want to be really careful with your choices, because this is really rough stuff. These patients get really sick, and I feel so bad for them. I think a tough part of being a doctor is the emotional toll it takes on you on a day-to-day basis. And just thinking about the consequence of every single action you make, every single medication you put in, every single patient interaction you have could be life changing, and it's a blessing, man, but it's a tough one. Be careful what you wish for. What's up, guys? I just got up from the couch because I'd been laying on the couch because I was tired. Last night was insane. I got wrecked. I really did. I'm not even gonna lie. Uh, Lots of stuff happened. I just had really sick patient that I had to transfer from the regular floor to the ICU. Massive transfusion protocol because they were bleeding. I don't want to tell you where they were bleeding from, but it was a lot of blood, and we had to just transfuse a lot, a lot, a lot. So I spent most of my night in the ICU before the day team got back in the morning and kept the patient stabilized and kept taking care of other patients while I was taking care of that as well. You know how it goes. So it's kind of a rough night. It's kind of a busy night. But currently about 6 p.m. or so, I'm about to start getting ready for another shift. Hey, this is the doctor life we chose. Pretty busy. I'm getting a little bit tired. It's about halfway through the work week for me on nights. And this is my last week of nights on the transplant surgery service. So in about a couple days or so, I'm gonna switch over from nights now to daytime, which is a whole different beast. So I'm about to go get ready. I just wanted to chat with you real quick. Get ready for work. Maybe I'll chat with you on the drive to work. What's up? So we're just now going to work, and I'm gonna stop by real quick at a store because I feel like I need a snack tonight. I feel like I need a little snack before the night gets started. I took a peek at the list of patients we have on the service right now, and when I left work this morning, I was gonna be responsible for about 18 to 20 patients or so. But now I just looked at the list and it's a lot longer. So it's gonna be a busy night. It's gonna be a fun night. Lots to do probably. I'm gonna find out when I get to work. Oh man. So the package we're gonna secure is a protein bar or two. Depends on how the night goes. I'm gonna get two just in case. Okay, package is secure. I have this cookie from Quest. I love this stuff. And I have another protein bar from Quest. It's gonna be a good night. Made it to work. Yes, I'm about to start a night shift. Yes, it's about to be 8 p.m. and my shift starts. But guys, look at this view. Oh, Chicago, man.
The next morning.
What's up? It's Thursday. Pretty damn tired, but I just wanted to cover one more topic before I headed out to work today. The fourth thing I wish I had done as a pre-med that I think would have changed my life significantly. Not that I'm saying I don't do this right now, but I think when it's all said and done and you cross the check mark, so you get the board scores, you get the research experience, you get everything you need to do to get into medical school or to get into residency. The one thing I wish I spent more time on as a pre-med is articulation. Learning to express yourself as directly and as concise as possible. I think we don't realize how much medicine is a social sport. From interviews for medical school to interviews for residency to seeing patients every day in clinic to talking to your attendant to talking to the nursing staff, medicine is a lot of communication, a lot of talking. And I think the best communicators win in medicine. So getting into interviews and expressing yourself, getting into interviews and being able to talk properly and speak the speak. Because there's corporate speak, but there's also medicine speak. And learning to articulate yourself really early on can be as simple as doing a lot of YouTube exercises that are out there, a lot of classes people take to learn articulation, to learn to speak clearly, to learn to get to the point. Because as a surgery resident, that's what we do all day. We get to the point as fast as possible. There's just so much we have to do every day. And sometimes it sounds short, but a lot of times it's just us being concise and getting to the point. So if I were to go back today, on my pre-med journey, it could be something as simple as grabbing my phone and recording, speaking to the camera, or speaking to a group of people I trust, carrying out articulation exercises. There's so many videos you can watch on this. And just learning to express yourself. If you have the finances, you could get a coach. I cannot afford that or could not afford that and still probably cannot. But if you can, I would highly recommend it, because when it's all said and done, your scores get you through, your experiences get you through, and everything else you go through, you still have to sit with people and express to them why you want to go to that program, or express to them why you are the right choice or why you are the right person for the job. And that all comes down to learning how to socialize, articulate how you're going to get to the point, is what I'm trying to say. See, I need some articulation classes myself, but get to the point and learning to interact with people properly. Because there's a lot of people in medicine that are like really gifted, really geniuses, but they don't do a good job at socializing with their coworkers or learning how to talk to people or how to express yourself. It just comes with time. And the earlier you practice that, the better you get at this. I'm getting my caffeine in for the night. I got my supplements in, and it's time to go beast mode. I'm really loving this stuff. Thesis has been really good. Such a fancy bottle, but Thesis has been an amazing product. My camera's doing crazy things, but I take Thesis Clarity, and it kind of just sharpens your mind and helps you get to where you need to be. So anyway, I'll catch you. What's up? This is probably one of the rare occasions that I have some downtime. The time is currently 3 a.m. It's been a busy night. I haven't had a chance to sit down. I just got caught up with writing all the notes for every patient that I've seen tonight since like 8 p.m. I've had to do a lot tonight. Had to escalate care from like the regular floors to the ICU for a patient. It's just been a really busy night on transplants as usual. And I just thought I would carry you guys along and show you what the call room looks like, which I almost never get to sleep in. But that's the tiny bed over there. And I have a desk on this side. And yeah. It's Sunday. That was a really busy week, guys, but I wanted to wrap up this vlog by telling you how the rest of the week went, which is yesterday. I walked into yesterday morning, I got back home and I was just really exhausted and pretty much just laid up and caught up with some administrative tasks all day and just rested. Today's Sunday. I want to go to the gym later today and catch up on a lot of work. At the same time, I wanted to tell you about the fifth thing I would do if I was a pre-med, starting all over from scratch. The one thing I feel like nobody really prepares you for as a pre-med is how much this process is going to cost you. I thought I had an idea of how much it was going to cost until I got further into it and I realized, oh, I got to pay for this and I got to pay for that. I got to pay for this and I got to pay for that. And it's just so much money that nobody talks about it. A lot of doctors go into significant amount of debt. And if you're someone that, doesn't have the support or doesn't come from a background where you have significant amount of support, it makes it really difficult and really hard to run into financial expectations that you did not plan for, especially if you're like me, where you work different jobs. I worked different jobs before I went into medical school. I was a home health aide. I was a certified nursing assistant in the hospital. I worked as a research assistant at a lab. I worked as a pharmacy technician, all while finishing up my pre-med coursework. And all these jobs, most of my pay just went towards like my pre-med coursework or med school applications, and I still had debt from that. So if you don't come from money and you don't have all that support, which I'm not criticizing anybody that comes from money, that's not what this is about. It's about just knowing yourself and knowing that I don't have these resources and I need to start finding opportunities early on. I really recommend just grinding on scholarships, finding people that know more about scholarships than you do, following them, and
reaching out to companies, creating systems to apply for scholarships as much as you can, because that will really help you if you don't have the kind of support that a lot of people have to go into medicine, if that makes sense. I think another thing that people don't really talk about is the amount of credit a lot of people go into to get into medical school. And I think if you can avoid it, it was great. But if you cannot, then it is what it is. Like, it's an investment in your life, and I think it's worth it if you really love this. If not, then don't do it. Don't do it. Focus on getting your finances together and focus on asking as much questions about finances along the way as you can, because it's a really, really expensive process. And if I could go back, I would plan better and dedicate lots of money to my savings towards unanticipated expenses. I'm talking exams, travel, interview, hotels. It's a lot. Okay. Well, I'm going to end this vlog right here. Thank you for joining me this week. It was a fun week. I hope I was able to show you some fun things in my week, my nights on transplant surgery. This week, I'm switching back to day shift, life of a doctor. If you really enjoyed this vlog, I want you to drop a comment right here. If you made it to the end, I want you to say, type in coffee. I'm about to make coffee. If you made it to the end of the vlog, type coffee. All right, I'll catch you in the next one.